There's a strange grief that comes with healing, not just from what happened, but from realizing how much of yourself you had to lose just to belong, how much of your personality was actually a performance, how many of your preferences were just patterns for keeping peace. Episode 7 traced the quiet codes we grew up with, the rules we didn't agree to, but followed anyway. This time, we're sitting in the space where those rules stop working, where the performance starts cracking, when the peace you kept feels more like a cage. Not every breakdown is a bad thing. Sometimes it's the first sign of your real self breaking through. The rules don't always disappear overnight. They fray, they glitch, they confuse you. You try to be accommodating, like always, but you feel irritated, suddenly. You try to stay quiet to avoid conflict, but something in your throat itches to speak. You say yes, and it doesn't feel generous anymore. It feels like betrayal. This is the moment you realize there's nothing wrong with you. You're just outgrowing what you had to be. It's not non-compliance. It's return, recognition. A part of you is finally noticing how unnatural it all was. How much of you went missing just to keep everyone else comfortable. The code didn't collapse to ruin you. It broke because you're finally safe enough to feel. Before you could ever name your needs, your body remembered them for you. Clenched jaws, tight shoulders, a stomach that knots up every time you agree to something that you hate. Now that you're aware, the signals are louder, sharper, impossible to ignore. You say, I'm fine, and your whole nervous system revolts. You overextend yourself and immediately feel the drain. You try to go numb again, but it doesn't stick like it used to. What once helped you survive now feels unbearable. Not because you're weaker, because your system finally trusts you to feel fully. This is the price of healing. You can't unknow what your body knows now, and you wouldn't want to. When you stop shaping yourself to fit in, you have to face the unknown. Who are you without the scripts? What do you like when you're not performing? What do you want when no one else is watching? You might not have the answers yet, but asking those questions is the first form of freedom. This isn't about reinventing yourself, it's about remembering who you were before the edits, before the silencing, before the smallness. Let the questions be uncomfortable. Let the unfamiliarity push you. That's how you come home to yourself, one honest truth at a time. You may feel guilty for taking up space, perhaps grieve the connections that depended on your silence, or second guess the new boundaries you set, even when they feel right. But these are not signs you're doing it wrong. They're signs you're shedding your survival skin. Guilt is just the ghost of an old rule book, and grief, that's what makes room for something more honest. This is not the easy part, but it is the real part. The part where healing stops being a concept and starts becoming your choice, again and again. There is no final exam for this work, no badge for doing it perfectly. Just a series of small decisions that say, I won't abandon myself anymore. And if you're in the thick of that right now, if you're shaking off years of silence and self reassure, remember this. You're not behind, you're returning. And if the old you had to shrink to survive, let the new you learn how to stretch and stay. The world may not clap when you choose yourself, but your soul will. And that's where home begins again.